Welcome back to the Selling with Love podcast. And my public service announcement, I'm having an itch today, and I want to make sure that everybody realizes that you might need to stop listening to sales gurus. That's right. We have to stop blindly looking at those who are giving us advice on how to sell and think that we just need to sell exactly like how they sell in order to be more successful in our business, in our venture. Matter of fact, I'm shooting myself in the foot. I'm even telling you, don't even listen to me. But I'm going to give you 3 things to think about differently. Make you approach sales in a different way so that you can actually find success. You can even extract what are the necessary lessons from any sales guru that you listen to, and you can start developing your own sales style in the process. Because we have to start with acknowledging one thing that is very unique about all sales guru, particularly the sales guru that trains sales people. The market that they're selling to are other sales people. And the way that they design their training and the messages that they communicate and the way that they communicate them are for a very specific target market, which are other salespeople. And unless you're a sales trainer and you're looking to train other salespeople in the same way that they're doing it, you're going to realize that a lot of the methods they teach and the way that they're doing their teachings are actually not going to be effective in your market. You might be listening to a training with someone like Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort, Andy Elliott, maybe even looking at, one of the legends like Tony Robbins doing a sales training, and you see they speak with maybe a force, maybe a certain attitude and aggression, and you start thinking like, oh my God, is that how I'm supposed to speak to my clients? And of course, you have to realize knowing your clients and how to speak to them in a way that is effective makes a huge difference. Now, before you start telling me, hey, no, but they share some good stuff. No, it's true. There is some great nuggets of wisdom that come from these people, but you have to understand that you have to actually understand your target market. When Grant Cardone does a sales training for salespeople and he speaks that way and gives that advice, it's going to work well for them. He has spent time, effort, energy, research to understand how salespeople behave, how they want to be spoken to in a way that's going to be most effective. Which is why if you're listening to any sales guru, you need to actually stop focusing on the guru and start focusing on who you're actually looking to serve. Because it's by understanding them, the way they need to be spoken to and the ways that they want to be communicated with is going to make the much bigger difference than trying to do exactly like a sales guru is doing. Oh my God, there's some of the ways that they speak that you'd say that to a client. Let's say you're selling personal growth services or you're teaching in people in a more spiritual way and you're telling them, you're stupid, you need to do things differently, and you start going with that aggressive tone, you're going to scare away some of your prospects if that's not the way that they're used to be communicated with. And maybe this is sounding obvious, but God, sometimes we just need to step back and realize they're great at doing their job selling to salespeople. We need to pay attention to the material and not always what is being broadcasted on the TikToks, the socials, and the YouTube. Because you have to remember another thing. You're not just witnessing sales gurus training on the platforms. You're seeing the sensational reels that is getting reaction, engagement, and comment. So you have to understand the purpose of what you see from sales guru trainings online. It's not to educate as much as it is to entertain. And so you will see the snippets from these high-heated, extremely challenging type of environments because the conflict is enticing. And you have to realize that more than likely they have some great trainings in the backside of their membership platform, training platforms, where they will speak some similar concepts of what I'm sharing here, but we have to be able to differentiate the nuance. Who you sell to is going to be a big difference on how you sell to them. So please be careful on the advice that you take from someone who is actually there to train sales people. This brings me to the second point, which is, I hope this doesn't come as a disappointment. You are not Jordan Belfort. You are not Grant Cardone. You are not Jason Campbell. You are you. You have your own set of values, ethics, rules, ways that you're motivated to go out and sell, to reach out to people, to make an impact. And that set of values will have a huge influence on how you approach your sales processes. If I look at Jordan Belfort, who's got the straight line process and he's bringing in his own enthusiasm, his own mission, he's someone that speaks a lot about temperature and how he's motivated to make the movement of money happen because he sees how the movement of money makes the economy actually go around. And so that fire motivates him to sell in a way that's a very fiery sales process. If that's not the same values that you have, you're more than likely at best going to come across as a cheap imitation if you're trying to sell exactly like someone that you're trying to learn sales from. So there's a bit more patience. There's a bit more self-discovery. If you know what your values are, you know what you stand for, and you've taken the time to actually get clear on the impact that you want to make, your true why is going to be so much more effective than, again, trying to copy a style from one of the sales gurus. Because when you're able to communicate with your clients and prospects the reasons why you're selling, and you're so clear on the motivations of the difference you want to make with the products you're putting into their hands, you're going to be able to come with a place of authenticity, and then people are going to feel that there's integrity in the way that you're communicating. They'll be like, oh, wow, that's why this person is maybe speaking passionately, maybe even speaking aggressively. If you find that this is the shaking, the movement that you want to create within your prospects, and you're so passionate, like if I'm seeing somebody say they're having some struggles with their leadership team and they want to bring some order within their organization, like I am not afraid to tell them, like, if you don't make a change now, it's only going to get worse. And I want you to stop bleeding money now. I want you to get your stuff in order and bring me on board. Because once you do that, you're going to see that things are going to go better. You're going to make more money, and this will be the best investment you've made. This could be perceived as aggressive, but I know that if I can bring leadership care and be the guardian angels within an organization, that this is going to serve them in a way that I know is not possible for them at the stage that they are. When I fully understand them, I understand their situation, and I know what values I stand for. That's the Jason way of selling. And so don't go out there and just try to sell like someone else, because this is one of the things I'm personally the most guilty about. I have a way of doing pitches. I can really take somebody's story, their product and service, and repackage it in a way that is call it Jason Marc Campbell style of pitching a product or service. And so a lot of times my students will come to me and ask me to repitch their product in my style. And this is great. I can give them a sort of baseline to work on. They can use that and see what other pieces they want to put into their own script. But it's never going to be exactly the same as their own essence, because there's not really a shortcut to it. You can't just copy paste my script and then bring it to your own, because even you will feel a disconnect in the way that you communicate it. Are there certain techniques and things that you can learn? Of course, but what I'm saying is your own sales personality needs to be developed, which covers the fact that when you understand who you're selling to and the best ways to communicate to them, and you understand yourself and the best reasons how you want to communicate and why, it brings me to the third point, which is, don't take advice from the sales guru and don't try to be just like them, but be able to discern what are the important nuggets that you can extract from any person so that you're not just focused on one single guru and trying to replicate. Every single person out there that's sharing knowledge, sharing content, and trying to show ways that to sell more effectively, try to be able to discern what is to be extracted and what is to be discarded. So don't get attached when a guru certainly says, hey, you're either closing somebody or they're closing you. And if they're closing you, it's because you weren't man enough to close them. And it's like, okay, do I discard this whole advice? It sounds pretty aggressive. Maybe it doesn't align with me, but you could start asking yourself, well, maybe there is a reason to take advice of what I'm hearing right now. Perhaps it is true that until somebody has made a single transaction, they haven't actually made a decision towards solving their problem. So maybe I do need to put in a little more effort towards closing, because if I do that, I've actually helped that person make a step towards the transformation that they're looking to have in their life. And so whatever advice that you listen to, if you're going out there and trying to get some sales training, always try to extract what is the core lessons. Don't get attached to the particular style, the particular guru, and don't just take everything verbatim here. So I want you to be more nuanced. You need to go down this path. You're going to learn. You're going to practice. You're going to be a beginner. It's very interesting as we're trying to get better in anything. Sometimes we're thinking like, what's the fastest way I can get there? You won't be comfortable on the whole journey. which is also something you need to ask yourself. Am I trying to get good at sales in the most comfortable way, or am I willing to go down the path, which there is going to be failures, there's going to be learnings, you are going to be a beginner before you get better, and that's the beauty that develops your own style. So I hope you get rich slow and you develop your own style that's authentic, that is perfect for the people you serve, that is your true voice, and you can always pick up the sales lessons along the way to make sure that you're learning some great tips, but not just blindly following what gurus say. If this resonates with you in some way, take it. If this makes no sense to you, good. You're able to critically think and pick what does resonate with you. But you want to build a mind of your own, you want to sell in your own style, and you want to be able to make the impact you've always wanted. So don't just blindly follow the sales guru. You're more than that. You're going to become your own guru, and you're going to sell effectively in the process. Of course, if you want to add a little spice though, you can always choose to sell with love, but I'm biased. Thank you so much for listening to the Selling with Love podcast. We have some previous episodes you can tune into right here. And if you prefer the short form content where you get to the point in under 10 minutes, we do have a ton of clips from our best episodes that are being shared on this channel as well. So pick which one supports you the most. And of course, thank you for liking, subscribing, and of course, selling with love.